Hi everyone, it's me again. And there's loads to be talking about, isn't there? Really, loads of it. The likes of Ali going now, Curtis Jones, well, there's Robertson going and the other fella, Mo Salah. And it's becoming ridiculous actually. How many players has got to go? How many players? Who's getting rid of them? That's what we've got to chat about. Who's getting rid of them? And before we start, I've got to go on to these wonderful people who sponsor every Frank Carlyle podcast. Everything. From conspiracy theories to history to literature to current affairs and to, obviously, this football. Well, they won't be doing any football soon, will they? Once the season's over. Because I won't be watching the World Cup. Sod that with America. No chance. So, got patent services, fully time served lads, fully insured. Every single one of them are brilliant workers. There's no cowboys whatsoever. None. And if you're an NHS worker and you're an elderly couple, both of you categories get special discounts. And if you don't get if you're not in those categories, just call them down. Tell them to give you the price without any obligation. That's Gap Painting Services, sponsors of the Frank Carlyle Show. And small businesses, look at this lot. That scarf or a badge. And it's coming to the end of the season. These are brilliant people. And they're open on Saturday, before the Palace game for 2 hours because they go the game. So they're open for 2 hours. And if you can't make it, just go at scarforabadge.com and see the merchandise. Michael Dean and his lovely wife, they're only a small business. And I'd rather you go there than pay astronomical prices somewhere else. So just try and see the scarforabadge.com and you'll see good quality stuff. I've got one on there, no? They're good. They're really good. Good stuff. Edwards. Hiya, Edwards. Hello, Frank and chat. We have to beat Palace on Saturday. They have beat us 3 times this season. In the Charity Shield, the League, and in the League Cup. We have to beat them. Yeah. There's no let up, because we beat Everton last minute. It doesn't mean to say that, we've got the 5th place. It doesn't mean to say it, does it? We have to win the games. And don't forget, the next game after the Palace game is Man U at Old Trafford. And as it says, looks like Alisson could be going, yes, to Juve, another legend leaving 2 leagues and a Champions League. He's won with us. Best goalkeeper, in my opinion, still is the best goalkeeper in the league. Still is. And they're allowing him to go. Oh, I know why they're allowing him to go, because they want to bring in a few players, so therefore they have to sell to buy. And what is it? We've always been a sell to buy club, you know that. And what did Soft Lads Slot say? Call us. We've always been a trading club. A trading club. What the fuck is that all about? What a divvy. Really pisses me off, that man. trading club. Fuck off. And Zarrell says, Alisson, Salah, Robbo, won't be surprised if Virgil goes as well. And Curtis still takes slots going, Frankie. He is. Telling you now. I feel sorry for Curtis Jones. I really do. He's one of us. He's one of us. I don't think many of except if you come from Liverpool or whatever. But people, we remember a fella named Joey Jones, and he played the way we wanted him to play, just getting stuck in. And he's even on a big banner, isn't he? If you think this is, well, it just says, and Joey Jones munching Gladbachs. Brilliant it was. Munching Gladbachs. Let me be Borussia munching Gladbach. Joey, that's what he was like. Big up, Frank. And Red says the T. Big up, T, mate. Hello, Frank. Great video this morning. Says, thank you, Scott. Thank you so much. I tried to answer everyone. You're kind enough to comment, so why shouldn't I answer you? Smash the likes and subscribe, Red says the T. Thank you, T. That's what I mean. It's the likes that count and the subscriptions, because it just gets the algorithm up there. That's all it does. It gets the algorithm up there. I want your take on Curtis Jones, by the way. I really do. Do you think that he should be sold? Don't forget, we have to have, I've always said it, a scouser in the team. We were built on scousers in the team. We really were a mixture. You've only got to look at the last great scouser was Stevie Gerrard. And look what he did. Look what he did. Incredible. And look at Curtis Jones. Lots of people, I can't believe it, really. People they've been saying it for a couple of years. Sell Jones, sell Jones. I don't think they watch football, to be honest. I don't think they know what he does. I really don't. Funny, like that thing that he called us for this morning, Scott. What you said about it, I was waiting for someone to come to. I was given a table and chairs away, and I've got a big long glass black table, chrome legs, and these chairs, unusual chairs, black leather, but they have these. It's strange, not legs, but it's hard to explain. So I was waiting for them to be taken out my home. Anyway, he came as I was talking, so that's why I had to finish it abruptly. He came to take them away. And the Bush Baptist, it's Frankie. Hello, my red friend. Are you Bush? Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Darryl says, Frank's ironing his shirts out. What do you mean I'm ironing my shirt? Oh, yeah. Hanging my shirts out. And my boots, look. My little crabs. the Adidas. Really. And Edward says, Yandamandi, who we've been linked with to replace Salah, is only 19 and has one good season. I want someone 24 to 25 to play on the right. Well, this is it. You see, 19, and they want a hell of a lot of money, aren't they? A hell of a lot of money for them. Oh, you keep him, mate. Steven Gerrard, says Brian. My poor leg's gone, me knee, me left knee, and it's killing me. Ah, blimey, fallen to bits. And the Baptist, I still think, like you, Frank, that he is leaving. I can't say how this is all for the future of our club if he stays. Don't be worrying. I'm telling you now, he's on his way. He is really on his way. And Brian says, hope everyone is doing well. Back in 10 minutes, dishes to do. See, the lad's work is never done, is it? I went shopping today, and honestly, my leg, the pain. And Cedric, hiya Cedric, great name. Big up legend, chat, looking sharp there. Thank you, Cedric. Fucking sharp. God blimey, Monty Connor. Hello from Atlanta. Hiya, Monty. Oh, good lads. Oh, smashing to hear from you. He's in a band, is Monty. He's a musician. Good to see you, Monty. Thank you for dropping in to say hello. Really appreciate it. And the user says slot 99% staying next season because FSG wants them to stay. Sky Sport. Yeah, like Sky Sports said that Liverpool were buying Shumani. They also said we were buying Bellingham. They also said, take no fucking notice. Because even if Frank, I'm not being funny there either, when I said that. But I take no notice of those people. I really don't. Because even if Frank and our fellow Red chatters, so Arnie Slot out as Allison packing his bags and heading out of the Anfield by leaving for a new adventure, says Stephen. Thing is, you see, look, I'm fed up saying this. I really am. I've said it time and time again, and no one takes a blind bit of notice of me. And I'm just fed up saying it. Like one of the lads just said, Sky Sports confirmed it. Okay. How do you confirm things? One good reason. If they want to stop all this Liverpool fans going on and on and on about Slot, who's an absolutely clueless, useless coach, who's destroying Liverpool from within, along with Hughes, the invisible man, Richard Hughes. Think about it. They would just stop it right away, wouldn't they? And come out and say, we're giving this Slot fella a new contract. Now, forget the year. Forget the year left on his contract after this season. Forget that year. They just say to stop it all. And they haven't. And they won't offer him a new one. Telling you now. And if you can't see it, Well, I don't know. And the TW says, any independent traders, yeah. What a plonker, yeah. That's it, isn't it? Like Del Boy, honestly. And Sean, hiya Sean, this is getting worrying. All the backbone wanting to go. I don't think they're wanting to go. You see, look, no matter where the slot stays, goes to Mars, there's a circle around the Artemis, that's gone up, that's another, that's a conspiracy theory, isn't it? Artemis 2. Does it really go around the moon? Have you seen the things, the footage? Oh, blimey. Anyway, I do digress. My old mate Paul Bear, because even if Frank and chat, how long is the crap show going to go on? I'm fucking sick of non-playing ex-players telling us he has credit. The crap we endured this season, he's got nothing in the bank. No, he hasn't. He hasn't. These are getting paid. So it's like everything else. Honestly, it's like everything else. Stephen Coughlin, I predict a bleak future under this helmet and Slot. He's out of his depth, yes. And all our players leaving us like we are a bad smell. It's bad news since this blurt came. Okay, why are they leaving? Why are they leaving? You've got to ask yourself, look, I can't repeat myself. I keep fucking repeating myself all the time. We're a sell-to-buy club. Even soft lad Slot calls us a trading club. A trading club. That's how bad it is with him. That idiot. A trading club. Because we sell to buy. And these players are worth money. So everyone who's saying, oh, we need this Diamandi, we need this fella, we need him, we need him. Why don't we just fucking buy the whole lot of players? How much are we worth? 6 billion. Why does an FSG who doesn't fucking spend a penny, by the way, put their hands in the pocket and buy all these players and give them to Arnie Slot so we could fuck them all up? That's how bad it is. That's how angry I am. And Bush says, Curtis needs to stay. He's our diamond. Yes, thank you. He is. He is our diamond. Good shout, though. And Paul says, Curtis going because he challenged Baldy, so no game time since. He told him to, I've got to swear, he told him to fuck off. Did you know that? He said, fuck off, who are you talking to? That's the way he is, Slot. He's a fucking arsehole. He breezed in as though it was a shop. And he went, this is mine now, you know. And if you want to talk to me, you'll have to come up to Manchester to talk to me. Because that's where I live, you know. Prick. I still hope Slot goes by mutual consent. He's going to get a big payday, believe me. And Edward says, we need another Scouser coming through, a Gerard Carragher. Yes. Did you see Carragher's What they were saying and doing, those Evertonians, fucking shocking them. Shocking. And I tell you another thing I noticed, which I never mentioned about the derby. When Virgil scored, to see him getting pelters with missiles, to see them coming on the pitch. Because all Evertonians, aren't they? Toscana. But I say to Franco and chatters, so Jones is thinking of leaving. Will be another wasted season with new players. I think Jones should not be sold, but makes you think what's going on in the background. Yes. And my old mate's there, Evo. And he says he's being forced out by them fucking buttes using Edwards, Frank. Clowns employed by Yank blades who just want to fucking rip us all off. Well, they are, aren't they? They're doing it all the time. Hopefully, more people will join in the protest against the price hikes and hit these owners where it hurts. The only way to do it. Yeah. But they've got to do more stake than just prices, mate. Really have. You know the lads. I know a few of them. You know them. But they've got to do more than fucking prices. They've got to say about this prick. But we know why they don't say nothing about slot. Because of the little freebies and the perks. Excuse me. And Stephen says Fenway will be happy selling to make mega profits in the summer by selling our best players, saying we have to sell to buy under bald fraud is bad news. Well, even if we had to sell to buy under Klopp as well, under everybody, the Irish fella, everyone. And Steve says Elise will be ideal salary placements, but won't be sold for less than 170. There you go. And Steve says 2 gigs this weekend with the match sandwiched in between. He goes to see bands that are unheard of. You know, I'm sure he's one of these underground fellas who go to these days. And he tells me, you know, he messages me and phones me. And I'm going to see, you know, who's that? Never heard of him. And he says, your Beatles days are over, aren't they? Yeah, thank God. And the boss says Sky Sports also said that me nan has XG of 1.2 goals a game. Me nan. In other words, say no notice of them. Yes, like that. Clever. You confirmed it with a contract. Yes, telling you. Look, please. Look, I've got to cross my bloody leg here. My knee's killing me. Absolutely killing me. Jesus. Right. To stop all this nonsense, they would just say, we're giving him a contract. That's what they'd say. We're extending his contract. They'd come out officially and say it, but they're not. but they're not. The user. I'm not lying, bro. Fabrizio himself confirms Slot has a very high chance to say, yeah, Fabrizio, take no fucking notice. Do you know what I mean? I'm not being funny, but people are taking notice. I know what you mean, user mate. You know, I really do. But look, I'm being honest here. I ask for comments here. I really do. I just ask for them. And you just comment. And I read them out. And people have opinions. See, I could sit here and change the whole format of this stream. Can I? And here's how I could do it. I could sit down and I've got a monitor right there, big one, fucking massive one. And I could get all these little paper things up, like other podcasters do, and go, oh, well, you know, they said, well, Slot is staying, and, you know, by such a journalist. I could be reading that. But then again, I'd be deluding myself. I'll tell you when it was. You know, it's been going on for years that we were getting players and we never did. We never, ever did. And you go, well, why are you taking notice of these people? And I'm talking about journalists now. Now, since social media's come in, how many times have you read, honestly, I'm booking people saying we're going together. Look who we're getting. Do you ever remember Shumaney was coming here? What happened? Never come here. Do you know why? Because FSG wouldn't buy him, wouldn't pay the money for him. Jude Bellingham, remember? And I was told when it first came out, they said, he's not coming here. They're not going to get the money for him. I was told that. And then it went on for weeks and weeks. He's coming here. And yet that's one lad podcaster saying, take no notice, he's not going to Madrid. When people say, oh, look at that, Madrid's coming in for it. He's not going. He's coming to Liverpool. I know he's coming to Liverpool. I know. Said it every day. And I knew that he wasn't coming to Liverpool long before him was saying he's coming. I could have told him. So you take no notice. How many players have we been linked with? This is these journalists. We're linked with. Go away. Are we? Oh, great, isn't it? Do we get? No. I remember Casino, when we went after him, and they were saying, yeah, he's going to come to Liverpool. Yeah, he's definitely coming. Chelsea are buying too many players, and he wants to play, but he can play for Liverpool. Liverpool will just put him straight in. Did we get him? No. That's why I take no notice of them. None of them. And that's just on players. Never mind change your managers. They all read up. Excuse me. They all read up and just go along with their narrative. That's what they do. And Clive Lingerham. Hey, Clive. Big up Frank and chat. Hope everyone is well, and the family. Yes, they're all good. Thank you, Clive. Thank you. Great to see you. And the boss says, Fabrizio was up. Of course he is. Of course he is. And Steve, cheers anyway, on the Moretti here. The Sala de Mare version. By the sea version, eh? It's a nice beer, that. I have a few of them when I go over to Italy, to be honest. Fucking hell, this fucking thing. This is shocking. And the poet says, if Slaughter's in charge of this upcoming pre-season, then there's another season down the drain. Because even if you sack him after a month or two, what can a new man do with an unfit squad? Good shout, actually. Clive says, Slaughter's a bad smell. Yes. The lovely little Lisa. The Athletic are saying Slot, man, is getting one more year. Well, you know who works for them, don't you? The same fella. They're all the same. They're all in a little clique at the Athletic. You know, the likes of James Pearce. They're all in it together. They're all following the narrative. I keep saying it, Lisa. Just believe what you want, honestly. I'm not trying to... I'm just trying to put a point of view over. A good point of view, by the way. And the boss says, even last season, FSG make out they gave us 450 million exactly, but we sold 275 million worth of talent for what we have now. Yes. It always goes on the net spend. Good shout, that. Good shout, that, Bushman. And Lindsay, even in Frankens, all hope you are enjoying this dry weather. Yeah, I was out today shopping, Len, with my daughter, with my sunglasses on, limping along. And Linda says, what are FSG trying to do to our club? Keeping Slot. Oh, fuck. Okay. They're not keeping him. Fucking hell. And Stephen, we are finishing the season with Freddie Woodman in goal for the rest of the season. It's kind of madness now, Ali and Mamadashvili out for the season. You'll never walk alone. My grandmother always used to say, never count your chickens before they're hatched. That's what lots of fans do, especially pundits. The journals, oh yeah, only a great place, you know. Fuck off. I've always said mathematically possible. Can everyone use caps to help Frank, please, says Linda. There's the Fozzie. You're not here, are you, Foz? If you smell what Frank is cooking, are you, Foz? Couldn't do it tomorrow. All the schedule was terrible. Fozzie. Cedric. Right, Fozzie. And Utron. If the idiot's not sacking him, I hope the fans booing him again. Without fans, they are nothing. No fans equals no money. Good shout. Good shout. Ultron. That's what I said to me mate there, Steve Evo. You know, the lads, the likes of the SOS and that, they've got to do more than the fucking price things. We've got to get rid of this fucking galoot slot. And they need to show and demonstrate, like we did with Ixon Gillette, like we did with them. We've got to show our strength and our voice against slot. We have to. The majority of fan base, no matter where you are in the world, no matter where you are in this country, wants him out. My nephew came last night to take away the table. He hates him. He hates him. He said, if I never had a season ticket, I wouldn't fucking go, he said. Just hates him. Where can Arte going, says Linda. We don't know. It's the way it is, Linda. It's the way it is. It's the way everything has gone. Unfortunately, we don't know. Look, the only thing I can say is we're a Celta bike club, and the more look, if we want these players, and who's to say that they come anyway? Who's to say that they come? Because if we fuck up now, I have to say it like that. I'm sorry. And we don't end up with fifth place and a Champions League spot. These players, they want Champions League football. And they will go to a club that's got playing Champions League football next season. So everything's still in the air. Everything. Toscana, Fabrizio just repeats what he sees on Sky, etc. He does, Toscana. He knows nothing. Tomorrow, he'll say the opposite. Yep. The Fozzie. Respect, bro, to the Cedric Lopez, the man with the exotic name. And Eon, I understand what the dude talking about. I understand what that dude's talking about, to be honest, because if Slot actually stays next season, I won't be surprised. Because FSG is our boss. It's the way it is, isn't it? EO. It's the way it is. Well, I'm not explaining again because I keep my knee. Keep explaining, and people come on a bit later from what I've explained before. And Stephen Glock Coughlin, Jude Bellingham was never going to sign for Liverpool once Real Madrid became a target. He wanted to become a Galactico. and play for the Spanish club. We weren't buying him, Stephen. We weren't buying him, mate. I'm telling you. Oh, my old mate, Steve Mulholland. I flank and chat. I stay. Big up. Big up. And the Anfield, well, hello, Frankie and chat. Thank you for them. I could do it all, them, to be honest, Raw. And Stephen says the way he has treated Chiesa since he came to the club is bang up when he will probably be sold in the summer as a waste of talent by sitting on the bench under the bald fraud. It's like that with everybody, isn't he? Workmate. Oh, that's... I remember you saying, Fuzzy, you were at work tonight. But we couldn't change the schedule, unfortunately. And Mr. B, good evening, my old pal and chat. Hey, Mr. B. It's okay, mate. Thank you. Fuzzy. Fuzzy's world. He's good, you know, Fuzzy. Him and a lad named Dean. Fantastic. Should have heard them the other day. I was watching them. And Fuzzy was winding Dean up. He's staying another 2 years. Funny. Seen little Tony and Phil, the brothers, yesterday. Oh, I've seen little Tony and Phil, the brothers. They were asking how you were, Frank. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. Thanks, Linda, for letting me know. And the pop. Trent is probably... Oh, I'm sorry. Trent is probably Phil Bellingham in on what's going on at Liverpool. Probably wouldn't touch us once. He's heard, yeah. Heard about it, yeah. And Rapat. Even in Frankenshall. Even in Rapat. And the Foz. My right-hand man, Clive Lingerham. Respect, mate. He's all right, Clive, isn't he? And they're all... I don't know what's more depressing, the new slot staying or that we may have to watch this fucking football star for potentially another 38 matches. Jan Mobley calls out Slot today. It's all him. Yep. Yep. I know Jan personally. And he's a good lad. He takes no nonsense. And he knows to score as well. And Brian says, that's all done with me. That's it. Fucking hell. That's me done with the fairy liquid, Frank. Was thinking, mate, do you fancy doing a show to commemorate the double? It's 40 years on Saturday from that day at the bridge. Then, not long to the cup final. It would be brill. No, I understand. I could do, but not on Saturday. I've got the watch along, haven't I? I've got my being asked to do it again. My Saturday morning film and TV review. And the boss says, "What's your rate our chances at the weekend? Palace aren't easy to beat for us. For the what? Yeah, yeah, you're right there, Bush. Should beat them though. Should do. But it depends on what team shows up. What Liverpool team that is. And Mr. B, he has put a new meaning on you never walk alone, you'll never win again. Time to bring out the bin bags and shuffles. I like that. Hi, Frank and everyone. Like and subscribe, says Christopher, who hasn't been on for a while. Oh. Good to see you, Christopher, and thanks for that. I wish they would like and subscribe, but they don't. I don't know why they just don't press a like, which is sad. It's only to get the algorithm up there. I don't ask for anything, as you know. And Brian says FSG class us as customers, for fuck's sake. That's enough right there. They need to go. That was Ian Ayre when he came out and said that. Ian Ayre, because they followed the fucking script by them. And Stephen says, we have already lost our top four status under the ball fraud this season by being the fifth best club in the Premiership, which is a disgrace, by winning fuck all after that massive spend. See, the excuses that they were making was that we're in transition. No, we weren't. No, we weren't. He's the chef who couldn't make the cake with the new players. They were new ingredients and he couldn't bake the cake. Slot couldn't bake the cake and he still can't bake it. And no matter what new players come in, if he's in charge, he'll destroy them like he's destroyed other players, the new ones that's come in. And it's not up to you or me, or, because people are saying, oh, look who we're after. Is there any chance of us getting that Elise for 170 million? Come on. And is he worth 170 million? No. No one is. And Stephen Holland says Chiesa spent more time in advertisements than on the pitch. Yeah. Well, I followed Azori, and Gennaro Gattuso, the manager, said that when he brought him over to for the squad, the international squad, he said he's not fit because he hasn't been playing. It's all right, like training, but if you look at our training with medicine balls and tennis balls and having days off, that's why we're so lethargic by the 80th minute, 75th, 80th minute of a game. And QT Tomoz projects. Hi, Frank. Being a min. Hope all is good, Uncle. Thank you, Tom. It's okay. I'm still in pain, unfortunately. And Stephen says, probably Manchester City will sign our transfer targets come the summer after them signing Mark Gahey. But you don't blame them, do you? Signing, that is, City. And Barry, hiya Barry. Even and Frank and chat. Hope you're all well. Everyone's well. And Edward says, there will only be Verge and Gomez left from Klopp's Champions League team and the first Prem. Yeah. What did I say months and months ago? Hey, what did I say? They want to demolish Klopp's legacy. That's why he got rid of, look, remember Morton? Morton was a cracking little player. Got rid of him. Quansah. Got rid of him. Avielli. Got rid of him. And Quansah's playing absolutely brilliant. So was Morton, by the way. And got rid of Diaz. Diaz wanted to rise, a money rise, but he said no. Then all the crap came out that he wanted to go to Barcelona, and the big clue there was he didn't go to Barcelona, he went to Germany. And if anyone can't see through that, well, there's nothing I can say, honestly. Stay, my old mate says, what's your favourite Liverpool team, Frank? Mine was the 78-79 season when we only conceded, yeah. And trash Spurs with the 7, yeah, RG 7-0. Yeah, Ozzy Ardiles and the other fella, wasn't it? Around was there. And I said the best goal I've ever seen in a club game was the bink, bink, bink Terry McDermott header. The 7th. Incredible goal. It was there. Yeah, well, the 77, 79, it was a great, great team. Then we had another one in the early 80s, didn't we? Incredible side. When we went back to Rome and won the European Cup again. For the 3rd time. And then Joe Fagan. When Bob left. And he won a hat-trick. Treble. Didn't he? And never gets mentioned. Never, ever gets mentioned. Joe Fagan. There's some brilliant, honestly, absolutely brilliant sides we've had. Even the 90s with the Spice Boys, but they were fucking around all the time. Won nothing with them. They were great players. You only had to look at Jamie Redknapp was a fantastic player. Robbie Fowler, Steve McManaman. Great players. And Lee Brady says it's all about FSG and Henry when he didn't even know or care when you was with the legends. Oh, yeah. The legends in St. John. Not one bit bothered at all about money. Yeah. Obsessed, needs help. You have money to spend, not keep saving it for when you can't take it with you. That's John Lennon said that, didn't he? And what did he sing? Last night the wife said, "Oh boy, when you're dead, you can take nothing with you but your soul." Think. And you can't. You have many money to spend, not keep saving it for what you can't take it with you. Use it, enjoy it, spend it on what you own to enjoy the achievements from it. Well, they're not like that though, are they? FSG. And as he mentions about, I was doing something for LFC, me and St. John, and it was a live broadcast, and then there was a phone in and whatever, and the Saint said, "Shall we go around to the bar and grill?" This is from Chapel Street. I said, okay. So we went around there. There was no one in there. There was one fella standing up at the bar, and me and the Saint walked in, completely empty, except for one fella. And anyway, we got a drink in, and the Saint, as I was looking at him like that, he looked over my shoulder and went, "There's John Henry there." I said, "I'm going over to see him." And I'll tell you when it was when we got beat by Spurs. And it was a light match. And anyway, I went over to him and I said, Mr. Henry. And he went, "Hi." Like that. Hi. And I shook his hands. And have you ever held a fish in your hand? That's what it was like. Clammy. His handshake. So I said, "We need new players. Everything's in hand." And I went, "Okay." And I said, "You see that gentleman there, standing there?" I said, "That's a Liverpool legend. A Liverpool legend for the club that you own. Known all over the world." And what I did say, I said, "Even someone has a shirt in the middle of Borneo, a little lad with St. John on." And he said, "Well, I said, it's Ian St. John." Well, I was lying about the little lad in Borneo with a St. John on the back. And I was pointing over at the Saint by then. And he thought it was calling him over, so he came over. He came over, Ian. And I said, "There he is, it's the legend." And he went, "And who are you?" I said, "I've just told you who he is." I was annoyed. He didn't give a fuck about us, about him, about me, about anybody. And I proved it. Then that Werner came in with him, you see, and you heard a little voice going, "Hey, John, the steaks are ready." He said, "I have to go." I said, "Yeah, okay. Don't forget them players, will you?" Never said anything. Prick. Think I'm a moaner. And Stephen says, "Probably signed the West Ham forwards as a cheaper option to signing the Leipzig winger as an alternative." Yeah, that Bowen, Jeremy Bowen, how old's he? 30? 29, 30? Oh, yeah, sign him on the cheap and get a free. We'll most probably get Harry Wilson on a free. But you'll get people saying, "Oh, he'd be a great backup." Yeah, okay. And Peter's, hiya, Peter. Hi, Frank. Spoke to you on Jamie's channel Tuesday. Fingers crossed, mate. You did, Peter. Remember you, mate. Comments. Remember you. Peter's, 4482. Certainly did, Peter, mate. And we agreed, didn't we? What we were talking about. And John Williams, hiya John, it's not just Chiesa, in my opinion. They all need to get out the mirror. They all need to get out the mirror and concentrate on their football. It does me fucking head in. I'm in agony with tooth, and an abscess for that, and they can't take it out. They can't extract it if you've got an abscess. I had it. Only last week, but I had neuralgia in my face and I didn't realise. And it's affected me tooth. Of course, I had the toothache. Fucking killing me. Take cocodamol. Take cocodamol. John, please. That'll get rid of the pain. I'll be taking them later on for my knee. My knee's gone. And Stephen Coughlin. Florian Wirtz needs to do more next season along with Isak. The two big money transfers that's been massively disappointment for me and for Liverpool. Yes. But I still blame Klopp for that. He doesn't know how to play. He doesn't know where to fucking play anybody. Look what he did. Remember that young Ramsey lad, the right back, and he plays Szoboszlai right back. What's that all about? And he keeps playing him there. Curtis played there. Curtis was man of the match against Everton. There was a fella going, I don't know who it was, going through, and I keep telling people to watch it. And he blocked him. He was going to score the lad. But Curtis just went bump, bump, and away. And Curtis led, the goal that we scored. Have a look at it again, the last minute. But it doesn't show you in the highlights. Curtis Jones got the ball in our just outside our 18-yard box. Beta player just passed a brilliant little pass, and he ran forwards, and the pass came to him then, the return pass, and he ran forwards with it and put a cracking ball through. And then it got to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai hit it, went out for the corner. The corner came over, the big veg scored, and that was all because of Jones. Curtis Jones. And he had the best stats, didn't he, in the Premiership for that day. The best. And you're getting fellas who want to sell him. I just can't believe that. That's why I said you've got to have a Scouse mentality in the team. To the contrary, it is a local club. But Slot hasn't embraced the city because he doesn't live here. He lives in Manchester. He hasn't embraced you, me, or anybody else. Not any fans. He blames everybody else apart himself. Everybody he blames. And he gives us secrets away, doesn't he? I don't like playing there. I don't like playing low block. And I only like a small squad. Small squad. Well, he got a fucking small squad, didn't he? And what did he say this season? The squad's too small. He still thinks he's at the Eredivisie. Because he's playing Eredivisie type football, which doesn't fucking work in the Premier League. Stephen, Diaz was sold to balance the books after the mega spend last. Yes. Scott, Frank, did you ever see Ron Yates play for Liverpool? He was my father's cousin. Big Ron. Rowdy. Brilliant. Great centre half. And the greatest story, one of the funniest, it's when we got our new kit. Right. And he said to Shanks, this is, and I did see him play, by the way. And he said to him, he said to the Big Ron, go up and put your kit on. He said, what for? He said, just go out, go in and get your kit on. So he said, okay. And he came down, and then he stood him in the middle of this room, where the reporters were. And Shankly started walking around him. And the journos were following Shanks, and he's going, look at the man. Look at the man. He's a colossus. Look at him. And they were all looking at him like this. They only must have been little journos. And they were all looking at the then he said, follow me. So they all went out and went up onto the pitch. And he said to the Ron Yates, just stand there. And the journos were just looking at Ron Yates standing on the pitch. And he's going, look at that. He'll frighten the opposition. He'll frighten them to death. Look at him. The Colossus. Look at him. So funny. That's Shankly. What a man. But yeah, Big Ron Yates. And he still lived down here, didn't he, after he came? He was talking to the Saint when he first came. And he said to the Saint, I thought we were in the first division. I didn't know we were in the second. And the Saint said, so did I. Whatever Shankly said to them, would you like to come to Liverpool? The greatest club and everything. Oh, unbelievable. What a man. You just got to admire Shankly and what he stood for. Just like Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp was a mirror image of him. The normal one. Incredible. Remember when the first press conference he gave, and this is Jurgen Klopp, and he said, the stupid journalist said, are you another special one? He said, no, I'm a normal one. I'm the normal one. Remember in Marino, I'm the special one. He said, no, I'm the normal one. That was Shankly, though. That's what Shankly would have said. Brilliant. Loved him. And then, even in all, Carlyle, Buffield, Slot is stealing a living. Absolutely. That's a great opening sentence. We used to train as we played under Jurgen, and now you see us playing relaxed five-a-side games and throwing tennis balls and basketballs and medicine balls as well. It's a joke. Spot on there. Great comment. And wonderful comment. Can I ask the people out there, look, just subscribe, like and subscribe and put a comment. See what you feel. That's all you've got to do. It costs nothing. I don't charge, what did he call it? Super chats or anything like that. You just get in the comments and it reads out. And Mr. B, people moaning about Vert, he's sacked. Remember who's coaching them? He's got the personality of a loaf of bread. Once he's gone, watch them excel. Absolutely, that's what I keep saying. It. You've got to look at slot. You had the likes of McAllister, who's trailblazing last season. Brilliant. And look at him now. You only had to look at Mo, and Mo called him out. And everybody turned on Mo, which was diabolical. Shocking. Shocking. So as Mr. B said, people moaning about Wirtz, he's sacked. Remember who's coaching them? He's got the personality of a loaf. Once he's gone, watch them excel. I totally agree with you. That is the Polo. Hi, Polo. Hi, Frank. Hope you're well. I'm in bulk, actually. Got a pain in my elbow, which is excruciating. Pain in my knee, which is also excruciating. And the Polo says, slot out. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And my old mate Steve Mulholland, type in caps for Frank. Yes, thank you. The Vader, there he is. Hiya, Frank in chat. Hiya, King Vader. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. And Grallo says, this is textbook FSGPR. Will they? Won't they? That's brilliant, that. That's brilliant, that, Grallo. That's what I've been trying to say. I'll just do that sentence again. This is textbook FSGPR. Will they? Stroke, won't they? Publicity. The club isn't doing crap yet. There's still a buzz, yeah. Yes. I said before, Grallo, that if they wanted to stop all this, all as they had to say, without they can't say he's getting sacked. Look, in any business, if you say he's getting sacked in 6 weeks' time, any business, that particular person could say, well, fuck you, I'm going now. I'm not waiting, and I won't fucking pay him as well. Any business. And that's why they won't say it. But if they wanted them to stay and stop all this fear-mongering and scaremongering and everything else mongering, they just offer or just come out officially and say, Arnie Slot is getting a new deal, a new extension on his contract. That's what they'd say, to stop it all. Then we'd all go, okay, now. No, I would. And Cedric says, Slot doesn't know how to use the new ones. No, he's the chef. Cedric, he's a chef. And he doesn't know how to bake the cake with the new ingredients. Look, when we won the league, at the beginning of the season, we won the league. It was the Klopp mentality that got them through. Then they had the cushion. And he thought, I'm going to bring my system in now. And it worked fucking bad. That was last March. And they've been bad ever since. Look at the goals we scored in the last minute to win games and also to draw games. Last minute, that's hanging on to a thread. It's not like a great team going forward. That's hanging on by the bare essentials. we're going downhill. And we're going downhill with one big problem. And that's Slot. And does that John Henry, does he know that he doesn't even live in the city? He lives in another rival city. And he's fucking coaching us. Do they know that? Because I'm sure fucking Edwards does. And that Hughes fella, and Hughes doesn't even live here, by the way. Do you know that? He still lives in Bournemouth, him. He's a Bournemouth head. And he lives down there, and he's getting fucking well paid off us. Fuck. The head coach is living in fucking Manchester. And the football director is living down there in fucking Bournemouth. Getting paid handsomely for fucking everything up. And Mr. B says, look at Chelsea. Those players have down tools on that young coach. Our team haven't, due to certain Dutch players and Hungarian lapdogs for him. And that's from Mr. B. Except one Dutch player. One Dutch player. Can't tell you who it is, but you'll work it out yourself. I was told he despises him. He despises Slot. Why do you think Gravenberch gets picked? He's fucking awful, him. Did you see him against Everton? He's the worst fella on the pitch. He'll be playing tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Saturday. He'll be playing. Gravenberch. And I heard a journal, a Liverpool journal on the telly saying that fucking lauding him he was. Lauding Gravenberch. He'd love him as a number 6. I've been screaming out for a number 6 for fucking 3 years. I think I know more about him, Gravenberch, than he does. Lauding him he was. And smiling and that. Fuck off. What games have you been watching, you fucking fool? Ali, good evening. Good evening, Ali. And Gralu says, it reminds me of the shitbag Irishman who played Nori Sahin as a 10, then criticised his productivity. Remember that? Remember? Yeah, this song, I don't know whether you caught this. Do you ever remember we were after a fella named Fekir? F-E-K-I-R. From Lyon. Great player. Great midfielder. And you remember him sitting there with a shirt on, Liverpool shirt, going to sign him. And we never signed him because we signed Ali and there was no money to sign him. That's your FSG for you. They won't put their hands in their pockets for fucking nothing. And yet they cream everything off us. And Mr. B to Cedric. That's the way it is, isn't it? And Mr. B says his arrogance this season isn't seen much. Yeah, he's a very arrogant fucking prick. And Stephen says, Tsimikas is back next. The Scouse Greek, yeah. Yeah. The Greek Scouser. Mr. B. Signed from Dundee United. Meet in Edinburgh. Royal British Hotel. Yep. Answer was, we are in the second, but we are first division. Now, I've signed your son. Now, I've signed your son. That was brilliant, though. Shankly. St. John and Big Ron Yates. Mr. B, spot on. About Big Ron. And then says, he hasn't just got the personality of a loaf of bread. He is a loaf. Large slice, thick and thick as well. Oh, God, man, that's it. Extra thick loaf. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Love it. And Barry says, any games we win to the end of the season, salute will be credited, especially if we are lucky enough to finish third. Or we're not going to fucking finish third or fourth, Barry. Roger Frank, noted Virgil, Mr. B. Yes. You're right there, Mr. B. We can't say too much, can we? And Christopher Robertson. Hello, Christopher Robertson. Never seen you before. Do you have a T-shirt? What do you mean? What do you mean that? That's that scarf or a badge there. Yep, I have a T-shirt, mate. Oh, do you mean for this show? No, the only thing I have, and I never brought it in, unfortunately. We have mugs with the crest on. That's it. That's the only thing. That's our crest, though. Our own crest, by the way. It's not copyrighted or anything. But thanks for asking, Christopher. Thank you. And Stephen says, the way we turned up for the Carabao Cup final was enough last season by getting beat against Newcastle United, as we were awful on the day before we won our 20th title. Don't you remember, just a couple of seasons ago, before the Sloop Man wasn't here, we were going after, for a few seasons, quadruples. And it's now the end of the season. At least we were going after a cup final, weren't we? We're going after a league. In a cup final, rather. And what have we got now? Nothing under this man. Absolutely nothing. Zilch. And Cedric says, does his name start with the letter before W, Frank? Yes. Yes. Despising. Edward, we haven't replaced Fabinho, Mac, Enzo, and Gravenberch have tried and failed have tried to fill his boots. Yes, they failed. Gravenberch, I really don't rate him, you know. He has a first, like last season, he was okay in the first part because we were up there. And everyone was playing well around him. Then all of a sudden he fell to bits. And this season he's been one of the, I think he has been the worst player. At the derby Saturday, he's the worst player on the pitch. And what did they do? They gave him a 280,000 fucking K a week, right? Is he worth it? Is Gravenberch worth it? You know, people like him. I think he's awful. I really do. I'm not just saying I've got nothing. I don't like calling our players, but, you know, they need calling out if they're not worth it or if they're crap. And the bus says, my dad built Kevin Ratcliffe's house. And he always said because he was a blue, he didn't damp-proof his house proper. Go away. Go away. What a prat. Ratcliffe was Ian Rush's mate, you know. Ratcliffe. And Edward says, Tsimikas will be Robbo's replacement. Can't see us spending money on another left back. Good shout that, actually. Edward. Really is. Wouldn't surprise me. And Stephen says, Keita was a bad signing who was injury prone and never seen his qualities in a red shirt as he was a massive disappointment. Yes. Yeah, he was. Remember the goal he scored against Atletico? Some goal there. And he scored a cracker as well when he ran through from midfield against Man United when we beat them 5-0. The opening score. Scored the first. He opened the score. But he was a massive disappointment, and he was injury prone as well. And everyone said, not everyone, but quite a few are saying about this Wharton. This Wharton hasn't got the legs, and he's injury prone. Wharton, that is. And Christopher says, I'm thinking of not renewing my LFC membership this year due to the stupid email I got from Billy Hogan. He's another prat, him. And Utron says, Slot never sad after we lose. Always laughing and blaming luck. His personality is a big problem. He's cold, arrogant. We need a passionate coach with passion and fire. This is why players not motivated. He's not a motivator. He's not a motivator. Utron, he's not a motivator, mate. The man actually stood up for Jones, which didn't go unseen. What's that? Can you elaborate on that, Mr. B, please? Jones is great. I've always liked Jones. And Stephen says, I can see Palace being a potential banana skin game at the weekend, as they've beaten us 3 times already, once in the charity Selhurst Park and in the Carabao Cup, at Anfield. That's when he plays all the kids, didn't he? And we got spanked. As own Rick Gravenberch, we need fighters and players who can do small passes and long passes. Grace Edwards, yeah. Did you see him? He kept giving the fucking ball away to Everton. Kept giving it away. Woeful. Who was it against? I forget who was against. And he should have fucking... He was side by side with a fucking player. I forget who was against. And I was screaming to him to watch along. I said, that was his fucking fault. Should have fucking had that. But the fella just slammed past me. He's slow. He's not fucking fast, you know. Oh, who was it? Forget who he was against. But he did it a couple of times, actually. Fellas just getting past him. And he's trying to keep up with them. And they fucking ends up scoring. Gravenberch. Player replacements. The club takes 3 years to monitor a player of interest before acting. Cycles. Before acting. Cycles, yes. 2 more years before they replace Diaz. 2 more years before they replace Diaz. And another 3 to replace Salah. And LFC to Mart, here. Who's to one of the lads who's commenting. Good to see you there, Mart, lads. Good to see you. And Steppen says, can't believe we paid Joe Cole 1.5 million to get him out of off the books when we signed him. He was... I said at the time, what are we fucking doing? Fans were going, we're getting Joe Cole, we're getting him. And I'm saying, he's fucking useless. And they were saying, he's an English England international. I was saying, I don't watch England. Don't support England. He's fucking useless. I said, do you think Chelsea would allow him to go to a rival club if he's that good? He was awful. Little Joe Cole. And he see him on the fucking telly. You know, saying about us. You know, if there's a game, right, we'll be okay today. Not about fucking Chelsea, like, what? He was with Chelsea for fucking years. With us for 2 minutes. Little Joe. I didn't know that. The Veg stood up for Jones training ground. I didn't know that, mate. Slaughter's arrogance says, yes, LFC Tom. LFC Tomat. Yes. He is arrogant. He never takes the blame. I always remember we got beat by someone, and Jurgen came out. He said, "It's my responsibility. Don't be blaming." But I forget who it was again. Well, anyway, we got fucking beat. This fella never comes out and says anything. He just blames everybody else but himself. He thinks he's a great manager, well, coach, and he's not. He's fucking useless. And his backroom staff, fucking hell. They're fucking worse, that lot. They're worse, that lot. It's Palace late in the season. Palace and Slot will slot. No points on the weekends, says Carlyle. Fucking hell, could you imagine that? Then you'll get the pundits, the journos. After the fucking week, it was a weak win. It was a lucky win against Everton. It really was. You can't say we were outstanding and fucking great to see us. You can't say that. We played in patches, all right. What would the outcome have been if that goal would have stood? Their goal, their offside goal. How would the outcome have been? All right, they went on to equalise, but we went on to score after that, to go up 1-0. Sorry about this. Fucking hell, my nose is turned itchy. An itchy nose. So, what would have turned out if they would have scored and gone 1-0 up? Would have been a different game, in my opinion. But we got the win anyway. I'm just fucking made up. We got the win. Gravenberch is never finished the sentence. Cheers, yes. It was the comments you read out about Slot being that. Oh, right, okay. That's good. These are good people, They really are. And Stephen says Rio will probably be sold or loaned out for game experience next season. Oh, don't say that. But, look, with our new manager, you'll have a different outlook. Excuse me. You'll have a new outlook. And Poet says Ratcliffe was a good player. He was quick for the centre-back. They had a good side back then. Kevin Sheedy, he was an ex-Liverpool player, him. Dave Watson, Alan Harper, they got from our reserves. Peter Reid was a big red growing up too. Yeah, he was. He was Peter Reid. You're either one or the other if you're a Scouser, aren't you? Blue or a red. And Mr. B, Klopp 3 to 4 years ago won a cup on young players due to a massive injury list. Mind you, he never spent 450. No, he never had nowhere near it. When we won the league, he wanted to strengthen. And when we won the Champions League too, he wanted to strengthen after those two great victories. And they wouldn't give him anything, and we never strengthened. Have a look up at that. Never strengthens, he never got fuck all. As soon as this dope comes in, look what he gets. See, I know for a fact that they wanted Klopp gone, and that's why he went. He wouldn't even finish. He would have finished his contract, and even his wife. This is all before Edwards and that came back. His wife Ula said, "I want you to sign another contract." He said, "Are you sure?" He said, "Yeah." She said, "Yeah," because she loved the dear Ula, his wife. She had friends. She loved her place where she lived. The kids loved her. And she said, "Yeah, just sign him." Whether he would or not, I don't know. But seems likely he would, because of his wife Ula. Could have been just for like 2 or 3 years. Not a big long contract, but as soon as that weaponised, never mind, Edwards came in. He's gone. He just looked and said, fuck this. Because he's a sly boots, is Edwards. And I don't like sly people. I really don't. The LFC tomato. I'm sitting here nodding away thinking, I'm so glad we're all on the same page. If Slot just showed a bit of passion, he would have been given more time by us. LFC, Mark, listen, Mark, listen to me. He's never embraced the fans. He lives in Manchester. His wife didn't want to come here. And only last week, his wife came to visit him. And have a guess where they had dinner. Not in Liverpool, but in Manchester. What does that tell you? About his approach to you, to me, to these lads behind me, to all the chatters. What does that tell you? He doesn't want to know. I guarantee you now, I think he must have come back yesterday from wherever he was, and that would have been Holland. As soon as we won on Sunday, he was gone. Saturday, he was gone to Holland or to Babita. I'm telling you now. And the LFC says, you're right. We got away with one there, for sure. Absolutely, we did. And Mr. B, no squad depth, no pace on the wings, and defence. And the defence back patched up weekly. He's deluded. Yes. And Edwards says, not many more home games left for Salah. Can see him having a good send-off. He deserves it after everything he's done for the club. Yep. And he even broke his first game of the season. He broke a record, didn't he? The only player to start You know, since like he started to score on the opening day of a season. The only player ever to do it. Broke the record. And people forget that. People who want, I remember the fella that was wanting them to go 2 years before we won the league. That season, the beginning of that season, we won the league. He said, I wanted Salah gone 2 years ago, and he should be gone. And that season, we won the league with his record assists and his golden boot, leading goal scorer in the Premiership. And he wanted him gone. Just imagine if his wish would have come through that he'd gone 2 years before, we wouldn't have won the league. Would we? No. That's who won the league. I'm telling you now. Mo Salah. Not him. He was just there. No one taking a blind. And it was all this, the Klopp mentality that won us the league as well. First part of the season, getting all those points together. Stephen Coughlin says Gravenberch was a Bayern Munich flop, yes, after signing from Ajax. Says it all. Yep. Yep. And he was only bought by Sloth for backup, because when you see games, he was always a sub. The bitch. Edward, there will be a send-off for Ali and Robbo too. Yeah, two legends. Two legends. But as I said, when as soon as Edwards came back and Hughes was there, and I said they're going to get rid. They wanted to, what did I say? I used a deconstructor, said they want to deconstruct the legacy of Jurgen Klopp because Hughes never ever got on with him. In fact, he fucking hated him. And Mr. B says, Elliot would have been a game changer in our games against Wolves, Forest, Sunderland and Fulham. I liked him. I didn't like him starting, actually, but I did like him coming off the bench because he did bring vitality, did Little Eels. And Stephen says, this is how bad it is when Slot doesn't know his best 11. Hasn't a clue about his best 11. And Mr. B says, bang on. He'd seen his contract out. Bang on. He'd have seen his contract out. That's Jurgen, by the way. He would have done, because that's what kind of a fella he was. And the logo says, a logo. I hear Edwards and co are going to keep him. It's a narrative that they have to say. I explained it before. Logos, honestly. But keep the faith. That's all I'll tell you. Slot was seen on in Wick's Bayern, a left-handed screw. Oh, wait, yeah. and then says, unfortunately, Klopp was worn down by the corrupt pigmouth pricks and might have stayed longer if not for them. Of course, Pep has never had to worry about the snide decisions going against City. Unfortunately, Klopp was worn down. Yeah, but that's not the reason he left. And honestly, mate, it's not the reason. Believe me. And the poet says, Klopp is still in his 50s. Ferguson was winning titles at 73. Get him back. Be brilliant. He looks at Liverpool and says, my beloved Liverpool. I hope you know that. My beloved Liverpool. He's got more affection for Liverpool than he has than any other club in Germany that he's managed. And Mr. B, Jan Molby is someone who bought into Liverpool way of life. Of course he did. I know Jan, by the way. I know him. When he had my little radio show, I had him on a few years ago. Said to him, do you fancy coming on my show? He said, yeah, okay. And he was great. But we had Jürgen then, you see. He was no like... and he's a Liverpool supporter. The only Dane with a Scouse accent. Excuse me. And Tamart says, LFC Tamart says, Slotters and Wordy. I understand where you're coming from. Thank you. Not just me, but all the chat, LFC, all the chat, mate. He's Danish, says Mr. V. Yeah. Mo won us. Hashtag 20 on his own. Bang on. Comment of the night. Comment of the night. He did. I've been saying it all season. Even last season, when we won it, I said Mo Salah won us that, boys and girls. If anyone was listening to me, because I was dead upset. You know, upset with joy, choked up, 20th. And I said, Mo won us that. Not him. Not that fellow, if you know what I mean. That's a brilliant comment, though. Mo Salah. And the LFC says, quick question, if I may, of course. What was your first game at Anfield? You're not going to believe it. I went with my uncle and our kids, actually, they were going to the game, and it was a floodlit game, and it was night time. I was a kid. And I'll never forget it. And my uncle, right, and our kids was going. And they were told to bring me. And they said, we're not going to bring him. Bring him. Bring him the match. So anyway, they had to bring me the game. And they sat me on a bar on the cop. You know, them stanchion things, the barriers. I was sitting on there watching a game under the floodlights because we had 4 great big concrete posts with lights on, you know, each corner of the ground. And that was our floodlights. And we played Middlesbrough. And who was playing for them? Centre forward was Brian Clough, and he beat us. And I always remember my uncle saying, they are our bogey side. Never forget that. And that was my first game at Anfield. My very first European away game was filling an ambition. And that was in 1977 in Rome. And my ambition was to see Liverpool not win the European Cup, but in the final of a European Cup. I was just made up to get there. And to see the Colosseum. Because I was studying the Roman Empire at the time. And my mate said, you seen your ambitions, didn't you? I said, yeah. When we won it and seen the Colosseum. They thought it was a club, actually. I said, I'm going to the Colosseum, you know, when we were going over there. He said, what kind of a club is that? Do you have any strippers on? I said, no. I said, it's an ancient monument. They thought it was a club, strip club. Well, not a strip club, but they said, is there any strippers on? Don't forget, we were young. And I said, no, it's an ancient monument. And this is exactly what one of the lads said. And I have to swear. He said, fuck you and your ancient monument. The fuck's that? What a club with strippers on. True that. They passed on now, unfortunately. Those lads. Thinking about it. Mr. B, we need grafters now in our team going forward. I hope we get Alonso and not Chelsea. Listen, look, I don't know if anyone heard this, not off me, but I did say it like last week or the week before that Slots agents and his handlers, something like that, was talking to Liverpool. Liverpool, whoever went over to Spain, they were talking to. And that was only last week or the week before. So I'll just leave it at that. And Bella, hi Frank, Marcella, Mum has had the out of her neck and is doing okay. We're listening to, I'm sorry for swearing, Marcella. Made up about your mum. Absolutely delighted. Thank you, Bella. Thank you, Marcella. And get well soon. Get well soon, my sweetheart. Or shall I say it in Italian? Cara mia, Bella. Cara mia, Bella. You'll be okay. You'll be back with us on form. Thank you, Marcella, for that information. Keeping us informed. And Stephen says, probably won't win nothing major for a while. Now with Slot in charge, it's bleak times ahead for us Liverpool fans. You never walk alone. Stop fucking saying that. Look, you've got me swearing already. I kept fucking saying before, didn't I? And I don't like repeating myself. I think Klopp would have won the league last season if he would have stayed. Of course he would. Of course he would. He might have won us more than the league. Have you thought of that? %, says Mr. B. Oh, Cedric, got to go, Frank. Thanks. Take care, all. I'll see you, Cedric. See you, mate. Good lad. And Mr. B. Klopp would have won this league last year and this year. Would have won us the league last year and this year. Yes. 100% there. And Stephen, Jan Molby, the great Dane. Did you ever see him scoring that goal against Manchester United? Oh, my leg, my knee. Did you ever see him scoring the goal when he picked it up in the Annie Road end half? Ran towards the Kop. First time I ever seen him fucking run. I mentioned that to him, you know. I said, was that the first time you ever ran like all them yards and shit? And I just hit it, he said. I just hit it. Hope for the best. Went in. Does anybody ever remember that? I do. Great goal. Klopp running on the pitch against Everton was great. It showed us, yes, Edwards, that was the passion when he ran over to Ali. I was there. That was a mad game at Iggy. When it bounced on the bar and little arms couldn't catch it, just like he couldn't catch it the other day. And Verge went, bink, go, get in. Klopp, Slot doesn't do it, does he? Who remembers Craig Bellamy golf club incident? Yeah, against Barca. Incident when he has a run-in with John Arisa. He then scored against Barca, yeah. Yeah, Stephen. Can you imagine Shanks, Paisley, Fagans, Dalglish, Souness, Evans, Klopp looking over at Slot saying, give us an insight into your plans for our great club. I just think, to be honest, I just think that they'd be standing there or whatever, just shaking their heads. Telling you now. Steve, excuse me. Remember Dean Saunders signing for Liverpool for 2.9 mil and was sold a year on to Aston Villa after we signed a double deal with Mark Wright at the time in the 1992 season, yeah. Dean Saunders, yeah. And Mark Wright, yeah. And the LFC, so glad I asked. Brilliant memories for you and stories for us. Cheers. Thank you, LFC. Thank you, LFC. I hope you've liked and subscribed to us because they're all good people on here. I haven't got many likes, you know. Do you know how many likes I can see there? 4. And Stephen says, David James was a calamity. He was over in Tampa last week. My mate, Dennis Paparak, you know, the American who lives over and lives in Tampa, said he was there giving a big talk. David James. He speaks well, you know. I don't know, he's very articulate in his speaking. Is David James. But he was a calamity, wasn't he? You're right there, stay, lad. Get well soon, Bella. Ah, that's lovely, that, from Christopher. That's lovely. It is. And the poet says, Klopp was a great goal scorer. ACL ended his career at 26. Our first ever league game was against Middlesbrough. Iron Apollos. Our first game was a friendly against Rotherham. Now, where did you get that one from? I don't like Clough. I don't like him. He blamed. Look, I'm a survivor of Hillsborough. And when he blames us, it was all the drunken yobs. That's what he said. That's what he called us. That's what caused us, all the drunken yobs. That prat. And his fucking son, Nigel, was playing for us at the time. Never liked him. And they used to have a picture of him up in the Shankly Hotel. And I said, get that fucking down there. And his grandson or someone went like that, you know. He said nice things about. I said, we fucking say lovely things, wonderful, stupendous, superlative things about your granddad. Never mind what he fucking said. He blamed me for being drunk and urinating on the. He said, did he blame you? I said, no, we take it personally. Fucking asshole. And Marcella says, thank you from Mum. Chris, that's lovely. We're all with you, you know. Marcella, tell your mum, we're all with you. But she's listening anyway. She knows the score with us. And Polo says, poet says, I was on the crop when Mulby, or Rambo, as we called him back then, scored against. Yeah, I was there. You must have been standing behind me, pushing me and everything. Poet. And Mr. B, I was being polite. What's that? A boat? A boy? Where's the Anfield Road gone? Fucking pops in and fucks off him. I miss the old Spine Cop Terrace. It was the best place to be being a copite. Said it got demolished. What has happened was it had to come down. It had to. You know, it was well out of date. And the biggest roar I ever heard was against Sanati in 77. When David Fairclough, the bionic carrot, scored that goal. The third, to put them out and to put us on the way to a European Cup win. That roar was incredible. And I had tetanitis. Keep saying that, yeah. That fucking roar. Thought the roof had come off. Sure, it rattled. And Christopher says, you have 32 likes so far, Frank. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, Christopher. And Mr. B says, get well soon. That's to Bella. That's to our lovely Bella. And Marcella says, Frank, if you could relive one moment from the club's history for the first time, which would it be? I just mentioned it before. And it was the very first in Rome, of all places. My favourite city. To see the Colosseum. To walk around the Colosseum. To touch the brick. That's what I'm like, you see. And then to go to the final. We all jumped on the coach and we went through them. We had to get thrown off, obviously. And then we all started to walk down to the ground. It was absolutely, that's the greatest memory I've ever had. And there was a fella sitting standing behind me. And I turned around and he was crying. I've said this before, I think. And I said, what are you crying for? He said, I'd never thought I'd I never thought I'd live to see the day that Liverpool would win a European Cup. You know, that European Cup, right? Because we'd won the UEFA Cup with the Shanks in 74. 73, 74. Was it? Or something like that anyway. And he was crying. Like, I was young. And that fella was be my age then, if you know what I mean. But to me, he was an old fella. Just like I am today. To people. And that was it. Marcella. That was it. To see Rome, to see the Colosseum, to walk inside the Colosseum, to walk around it. Vespasian's wonderful Colosseum, Emperor Vespasian, that is, who had it built. And then Liverpool to win the European Cup in Roma. Can't get any better than that. Couldn't, not for the first time. Then we did it again, didn't we? In 84. And the T says, 35 likes, keep smashing reds. Thank you. Thank you. And Bella says, from Mum, isn't that lovely? To Mr. B. Thank you. That's to Mr. B, though. Or is it to me for telling the what? Liked and subscribed, says the LFC tomato. Tomato. Thank you. Thank you so much, LFC, mate. Thank you. Molto appreciate. You're welcome, says Mr. B to Bella. Like that. That's why you people are lovely. You really are. And Steve says, remember the 3-3 draw against Man United? And Ray's, yeah. I never went into work. I had a class that night. And I rang in. And I said, listen, I won't be able to make it. Anyway, he gave a stupid excuse at the game, seeing it. He didn't headbang himself. I'm sure he had concussion, afterwards. When he headed it in. Some match that, wasn't it? As I remember. And Peter says, liked and subs, mate. Oh, thank you, Peter. Thank you. And Marcella, on behalf of my dad, great. This is Marcella. My dad, great moment that cemented his legend, was winning the 1965 FA Cup, the club's first ever, which fulfilled his promise to make Liverpool a bastion of invincibility. That's Shankly, that, wasn't it? He said, a bastion of invincibility. Isn't that lovely? That's great, that, Marcella. Your dad. And the Bushman says, you've created a great place here, Frank. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, the Bushman. And Ali. No, Franco, you're a great man. Oh, thank you. Oh. Now, where's it there? There's a fella, look, I haven't seen for ages. Flits in and out. And he says, tell Frank, Slot has to be sacked ASAP. Liverpool must win the Prem next season. Thank you, Gary. Yes. Great comment. And you should have been with us before. We had Jan Molby sitting here with me. Great. Stevie McMahon dropped in as well. He dropped in and seen us. You missed everything. They had to get off. They were going for banners, placards. Sack Slot, the 2 S's. I said, you can't put that on. Look like the SS, SS. And Sack Slot. I said, you can't, you'll get locked up. But you're right there, Gary. Get rid of him now. Remember Gabriel Heinze wanting to join Liverpool from Man United, and it was blocked by Whiskey Nose Fit. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Heinze, yeah. Absolutely. That's great, that. Glad you remembered that. Good night, Frank and chat. Mr. B. Was she listening to, I wasn't swearing, I've got a little thing here, look. That was swearing. The swear words come out of that. I don't swear. Mrs. B, I don't. It just comes out. You might think, it comes out of my mouth, and it, doesn't really. It comes out of that. Comes out of that. And on that note, and as Mr. B says, you're a different class, Frank. Be lucky. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. and Mrs. B. I'll see you all on Saturday, won't I? Because I'll see you all on Saturday simply because I'm doing the watch along, but I'm also doing the Titanic tomorrow, aren't I? Is it the Titanic? And Marshall, most said, beautiful memories, Frank. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mrs. Bella. Signora Bella. Thank you. And the Bushman. Great show. Thank you. And Christopher. Now, Frank and everyone, up the title-winning Reds, says Christopher. Thank you, Christopher. And Stephen. But losing the title to Arsenal, I was there, mate. Michael Thomas, and we fucking signed him afterwards. See, that, look, that's swore then. Mrs. B, that's swore. Not me. Yes, was a killer to the heart when Michael Thomas scored that goal with a minute to go when Kenny was manager. That would have been his back-to-back double. And you see how he celebrated that, Thomas? He went on the floor and he like twirled up on his head. Twirled up on his head. And we signed him. But didn't he score? He scored a cracker, didn't he, in the cup final against Sunderland? Remember that goal? It was a cracking goal, that, by Thomas. Made it up, I think. Made it up for us. Made it up for us. And the LFC lad says, absolutely loved this tonight. Good night, all. See you soon. Mille grazie. LFC. And Edward, see you tomorrow. Thank you, Edward. Thank you. Don't forget, it's the Titanic. We're like the Titanic, aren't we? Oh, the irony. The bittersweet irony. Good night. Good night, Frank and fellow Reds. Take care, all. That's from the TW. Thank you, T. You're a good man. And LFC says, no, not Mickey Thomas. Yeah, say Mickey Thomas. Say Mickey Thomas. And Stephen, the Merseyside derby that ended 4-4, and the day after he left Liverpool, resigning as Liverpool, broke my heart. After, yeah, he did. He did. He did. It's all good, Frank, says Mr. B. Oh, you should hear the filth that comes out of Mrs. B. Oh, especially when Slot's face pops up on the telly. But that's a big lie. And she'll be saying to you now, you're going to get your leg kicked in a nice voice. And TW, hashtag FSG out. Put them all out. I think we'd run the club better. And Edward, I remember you saying about the fella, yeah, he did. He was welded in there. He was welded in there. I know it's all in the past and that, but don't take this the wrong way. There was terrible sectarianism going on at the time. There's always has been in Belfast. And because he was Catholic and he was welding inside, you know, and a sheet had to go across, they fucking put him in. You know, they put the sheet on and welded him in. True that. You're right there, Edward. A season wasted with a useless excuse of a manager. He's not even a manager. He's a coach. He can't manage. And on that note, I'm going to finish, you wonderful people. To my lovely Italian ladies, grazie mille, ci vediamo domani, Titanic. Buono. And to all you English-speaking wonderful people, thank you so much for keeping me company. Great comments tonight, by the way. Wonderful comments. Honestly. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, Frank. Thank you, Barry. Thank you so much. And hopefully I'll see some of you tomorrow about the Titanic and a few other things, you know, fucking Trump, that lunatic. And look, say he comes on and goes. He goes and listens to other pods. Daryl, Frankie, hey, Daryl. And I'm going to end the stream on Daryl's Frankie. All right. Hopefully I'll see some of you tomorrow. Definitely see you on Saturday for the watch along. Oh, for the film show in the morning. Got a great films for you to watch. Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Thank you. Good night, everyone. Thank you. Ciao, Bella.